We are tracking some showers, even some thunderstorms out there across portions of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa here this evening. Things becoming a little bit more scattered to widespread as we continue into this evening. A look here at future track radar. You can see things pretty sparse, especially north of I-90. However, south of I-90, certainly a little bit more activity going on. So let's zoom in closer to Olmsted County here. Rochester, mostly dry, but we're starting to see some showers coming in on the west side of town. There is a cluster of a couple thunderstorms between Marion and Chatfield, so southern portion there of Olmsted County. Something to monitor here as we move through this evening commute. But you can see southern portions of Houston County into Fillmore County as well, and even down into portions of Almaquee and Winnebago County, seeing a cluster there of some thunderstorms. Notice the darker colors indicating some moderate to heavy rainfall in addition to those showers and thunderstorms. So something to monitor here. We're tracking more of that more widespread activity with some pockets of heavy rainfall possible at times through this evening. But moving into tomorrow then, or overnight, we'll see showers gradually becoming less and less. So some good news there. We may see a couple sprinkles early on heading into early tomorrow morning. But otherwise, we're tracking a few wet spots out there for that evening commute. So just use caution here tonight. We'll talk more about that weekend forecast and your first alert weather later on. We'll send it over to Brock. And it's a wet evening out there tonight for the region. We're tracking more of those showers and thunderstorms heading into the evening hours. Next week, looking forward to some drier conditions and some warmth headed our way as well. We'll talk more about those first alert forecast details as we move into the weekend. That's ahead in just a couple minutes. Had to break out the umbrellas once again, especially this evening as we're tracking increasing showers and thunderstorms here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. We had a brief dry period here earlier today, but now more of that activity filtering in. So as we take a look here at future track radar, not a lot of activity at this point in time north of I-90. Greater chance for shower and thunderstorm activity has been staying south of I-90. But again, we'll look to see more of that expanding here as the night progresses. So kind of planning on a wet evening for the region. Zooming further out, you can see all that thunderstorm activity that's coming in behind us. We'll see more of that tracking through, as I mentioned, as the evening progresses. There is a low risk for some severe weather locally for us, but I think the greater chance staying to our south as we look at that severe storm outlook. Level 3 threat into southern Iowa, back down into portions of Missouri. Locally for us, we do have that level 1 threat south of I-90. So if we see any stronger thunderstorms this evening, gusty winds, some small hail would be the main concerns, but overall severe threat is low, but not entirely zero. So something to monitor here this evening. As we time things out with future track, we'll continue to see that shower and thunderstorm activity here through the evening hours, expecting to see pockets of moderate to heavy rainfall at times, especially in those thunderstorms. We'll see things kind of drying up after about 2-3 a.m. Early tomorrow morning, and we'll see the morning hours maybe on the drier side for us here. Heading later into the day for Saturday, especially into the afternoon, we have a chance at maybe a little bit of some wintry mix, some stray snow showers. Again, staying very stray, very minimal here for the area. Most of that pushing out later into Saturday evening. Little to no accumulation is expected with that, but on any untreated surfaces, you have to watch out for a couple slick spots. So with that rainfall expected to come through tonight, much of the region could be looking at another ½ inch, potentially up to about 1.5 inches on the higher side. Higher amounts looking to stay closer to the Mississippi River side into Wisconsin. So as we head further west, totals becoming less and less. Little sneak peek here into that Easter forecast. Come Sunday, we are looking to dry out just in time for the holiday on Sunday. High temperatures for the Rochester area will be in the upper 40s, some low 50s possible in the region as well. It will be a little windy, so plan still for a little cooler weather here for Sunday. Next week, though, getting a period of some dry conditions before we see warmer temps. 60s for highs by Wednesday. Late next week, though, into next weekend, more wet weather returning. So take advantage of this dry period while we have it next week.
Whenever we have that sunshine, we're going to relish every second, Sarah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
We're going to check in with Nathan.
Tracking some wet weather out there for tonight into early tomorrow morning. Planning on maybe a few stray snow showers, a little wintry mix heading into tomorrow afternoon and evening hours. So to watch out for a couple slick spots, but for the most part, little to no accumulation is expected with that wintry mix tomorrow. Things drying up as we head into Easter Sunday here. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s, maybe some low 50s in some of our warm spots. Quick little cool down into the 30s for highs by Monday. Heading into next week, though, we will look to see a couple days in a row where we're looking at some dry conditions before we once again see more wet weather by late next week into the weekend. Getting excited about that 60-degree day high temperature there on Wednesday. By next weekend, we could be looking at a couple days in a row with highs in the 50s and maybe even some 60s sneaking back in there. The downfall to that, though, is a little bit more rain, but it is April, so we get more rain.
We get what we get,
Yep.
as they say. It's not the best weather for the home opener, but I'm sure we've had worse.
Yeah, you don't love the windy, rainy, cold, but you got to play ball.
You gotta play ball.
And it's turning out to be a good game.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
you know, that helps too. If it was not such a good game, then
Be harder to sit in those seats, wouldn't it? Thanks for joining us for your news, weather, and sports tonight at 6 o'clock.
we know you have a choice when it comes to your local news, weather, and sports. Thank you for making it KTPC. Good night. A whole lot of rain in a short period of time in some parts of the viewing area. Thanks for being with us. I'm Brock Burgee. Olivia has the night off, so I welcome in meteorologist Sarah Gannon right off the top here. And as we're seeing across the bottom of the screen, some counties dealing with some flooding issues.
That's right, and we've seen kind of multiple days in a row here with heavy rainfall across portions of southern Minnesota and especially into northern Iowa. So coming in from the National Weather Service here this evening, a flash flood warning, and this is for portions of Almaquis, Houston County, Winnebago County, and also into Vernon County there in Wisconsin. So kind of a narrow band, but this area has already seen between Wednesday night into Thursday already 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. This evening, an additional 1 to 2 inches, and the opportunity for at least another inch possible here as these thunderstorms continue. So just kind of a sampling here. Radar estimated you can really see portions there where we have that flash flood warning where they've seen a significant rainfall so far here just in the last 24 hours. So as a grand scale of everything, you can see that heavy rainfall, showers and thunderstorms moving through southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. Quick zoom into Olmsted County, heavy rainfall falling at this point in time just in the last 15 minutes. Some loud thunder right here at the station. Zooming further out, you can see off to our southwest, we still have more rainfall that's expected here over the next few hours. So that area, especially that has that flash flood warning, will look to pick up more rainfall here in the next couple of hours. But expecting to see rainfall gradually tapering off after about midnight tonight. Heading into early tomorrow morning, we should manage a couple hours of some dry conditions, maybe even a few flurries, a little bit of some wintry mix possible tomorrow evening. So we'll talk more about those forecast details in just a few minutes. Brock? We are continuing to track some rainfall out there this evening. Some heavy rain possible as well, tracking quieter weather as weekend and especially into next week. We'll talk more about those forecast details in your First Alert Weather next. We are seeing some wet and even stormy conditions out there across portions of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. This rain will gradually come to an end here in the next couple of hours. But to kick off here this evening, starting off with an alert, we have a flash flood warning for portions of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. This does even stretch across the river into Wisconsin. So Almaquis and Winnebago counties both under this warning, even portions of Houston County and just across the river, Vernon County in this as well. So this will be in effect until 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. And this is an area that has already seen quite a bit of rainfall just in that last system. Wednesday night into Thursday already saw 1 to 2 inches fall during that time frame. So far today, have seen an additional 1 to 2 inches according to radar and what the National Weather Service has reported, but still more rainfall on the way. So in that area specifically seeing a lot of heavy rainfall moving through. You can see here with future track radar, we have plenty of rain still moving through the region. Notice the yellows and the oranges indicating more moderate to heavy rainfall. We still have a few thunderstorms out there, so those will likely produce some heavier rainfall as well. Zooming in briefly here to Olmsted County, you can see some heavy rainfall throughout parts of Rochester, down towards Stewartville, back towards Rockdale, moving through Marion and heading towards the St. Charles area, even up towards Plainview, looking at some heavy rainfall. So pockets of heavy rainfall will continue here over the next couple of hours, and we still have just a little bit more time where we have that rain threat for the region. Notice as thunderstorms continue to push to the east and northeast. We'll see that continue for a little more rainfall over the next couple of hours. So timing things out here with future track. After about midnight, we'll really start to see these showers and thunderstorms kind of dissipating and continuing to push east. And most of this rain activity should be out of here by about 3 a.m. early tomorrow morning. And we'll get a couple hours of some dry conditions. So we'll start off Saturday morning on a dry note. However, as we move into the midday, closer to the lunch hour and into the afternoon, notice the little dots on there, the blues, the pinks, a chance for maybe a few flurries, some stray snow showers, even a little bit of wintry mix may be possible as well. Little to no accumulation is expected with that, but we may have to watch out just for a couple slick spots here, especially on any untreated surfaces. Like I said, that heavy rainfall still moving through the region. Some spots could still pick up an additional inch or so of rainfall when all is said and done here as we move into the remainder of tonight. So looking ahead to Sunday, some sunshine on the forecast here, especially nicer to get outside for Easter Sunday there. Rochester area could be looking at high temperatures into the upper 40s, some spots in the low 50s. Winds will be breezy, so it will be a little bit more brisk here, but at least the day will be dry. We're looking to see a couple days next week with dry conditions. Unfortunately, though, rain does return Thursday, extending into the weekend. With that rain comes a little bit more warmth. High temperatures there looking to transition from the 30s on Monday, 60s by Wednesday. Next weekend, more 50s on the horizon.
Well, I'm sure the Easter Bunny, because we know he or she is watching, likes the fact that he or she will not get wet.
I'm sure they're going to love that.
Thank you for that.
Let's take another look here at the 7-day forecast. Austin, Mason City, and Winona all looking to see a little bit of some chilly weather for tomorrow. That'll kind of be the big picture for our Saturday. We will look to see some windy conditions as well, so it'll feel a little chilly tomorrow. We could even see some areas of some wintry mix, maybe a few stray snow showers tomorrow, so just something to monitor for, especially later into the day. Little snow accumulation, though, is expected. Temperatures looking to be warmer heading into Sunday, so at least we'll get a little sunshine, a little bit more warmth after what has been kind of a cooler couple of days. But we are tracking, though, a couple days next week with some drier sky condition before we bring back more rain chances Thursday, Friday, and into next weekend. Temperatures looking mighty nice for Wednesday, probably our warmest day here of the upcoming week, with high temperatures approaching the 60s for southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Nathan, let's take one more look at that 10-day forecast here. Things still chilly, a little damp here heading into our Saturday. We'll continue with that rainfall tonight. Most of this rain should be out of here by about 2-3 a.m. tomorrow morning. We will look to see maybe a little bit of some wintry mix, some stray snow showers tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours. Things drying out, becoming sunny as we head into Sunday here. We'll look to see high temperatures, a little bit more seasonal, upper 40s, even some low 50s possible in the area on Sunday. Heading into next week, through Wednesday, we'll see dry weather for southern Minnesota and northern Iowa, something we haven't seen much of here in the last couple of days. So some great news there, helping us dry out just a little bit before the late week. We bring back more rainfall, looking to see more wet weather for the end of next week into next weekend. Probably the best day to get outside here in the next 7 to 10 days. I'm putting my vote on Wednesday, looking at dry weather, some sunshine, and high temperatures into the 60s here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Looking really nice, but temperatures should level out into the 50s next weekend. Speaking
of votes, we can cast one for a very eventful home opener for the Twins.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, as we said, the fans that stuck around for that, they got treated to a really fun one.
Yeah, undefeated for the season. We'll take
for the day.
For the day home at Target Field. So far for the season.
Sure.
Okay. Good.
Reporting